This is Recreational Knitter. My name is Karen, and I'm the knitter in charge. Yes, indeedy. This is where I talk about all that yarn and how I'm working to make it go away and into a slow fashion garment for myself, or maybe even my children, you know, if they treat me right. Actually, they're really not all that interested in hand knits. Yeah, I don't get it, but you know, they really are genetically mine. Anyway, welcome back to those of you that have been with me for a few weeks, a few months, or even since the beginning of whenever I started this. I've lost track. I think it's been 3 years, but I'm not certain. Yeah. Yeah, welcome back. I just want to thank you from my heart and for all the comments, for all the positive juju that you're giving me. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. To those who have just found me, welcome. Everybody's welcome here. And I hope that you find something that you like and that you can relate to, and welcome to the community. It's a great one. My goal when I started this podcast was to hold myself accountable for all the yarn that I purchased during COVID. We were traveling in our RV. It ended up being 4 years. It wasn't planned to be 4 years, but a couple surgeries later and all the things that COVID brought to us, it ended up being 4 years. Excuse me. I still have a cold, sort of, but I was also not feeling well Monday and Tuesday, really and Wednesday of this week. So yeah, I've got a couple things going on, but I'm back. I'm back, baby. Yes. So those of you that are new, let's go back and try this again. Those of you that are new, I hope you find something that you like and that you consider subscribing, liking, and please comment. Those of you that don't know how YouTube all works is that engagement is the key. The more engagement, the more the corporation gets for money, for advertising. So if you have comments, they think that this is an engaging channel, it's blah, 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 and they recommend you more to people who might enjoy the content. So if you could leave a comment today, that would make my heart sing. If you could subscribe, if you've been here a while, if you could consider subscribing, that would also make my heart sing. Yeah, when we look at analytics, not that I do very often, but I did a couple weeks ago, and a lot of you haven't subscribed, and that's okay. You don't have to. Nobody's, like forcing you to. However, it does help those of us that are doing this for a couple cents a day. So yeah, just saying. So I would appreciate all of that stuff if you've been here or if you've enjoyed. Let's see. Do I have any finished objects? I do not. Those of you that have been here a while know that I have arthritis, and I've had a knee replacement, a hip replacement, and I've been getting a shot. I got a shot in my thumb last December for arthritis, and it was a miracle. I went back to knitting. It was great. Just last week, really, it started again, and just in the matter of probably 10 days, it's been really aggravated, and it's very hard for me to grip anything now with that thumb. So I only have one opposable thumb, really, at this point that's functioning. I don't know what that makes me, except arthritic. So I'm headed for a shot next Friday and a knit date with a new friend. Hi, Dante. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons I haven't been knitting, and I also haven't felt the greatest. We were out of town I was out of town for a couple, almost 2 weeks, and put a kibosh on July knitting. It's okay, I'm good with it. But since I've then been back, the thumb starts. So, you know, can't win for losing. I have made some progress on certain things. I will start to show you my pile of ranunculi. Yeah, those of you that have been with me a while know that I've got a true illness, apparently. I'm casting on ranunculus, and, you know, I've made like 2 or 3 recently, and I've cast on a few. And this is the first one that I want to show you. It's made with some Noro cotton. Let me see if I can find, this is Enka, which has been discontinued, I'm sure, because I've had it for a couple of years, but it's basically 50% cotton, 20% silk, 15% wool. So it's a little bit of everything, and probably some polyamide that I didn't read. So let's see what this is looking like, because it really is, I've made some progress on it. I had 2 balls of this Noro. I finished one in the body and then started the sleeves because I have a feeling I'm going to want to do some yarn management for the sleeves. So this is what I've got so far in the body. It's very cropped right now. It's not going to stay cropped. I'm not a cropped kind of gal. But this is where I am with the sleeve. I've started some decreases. And this is about 3/4 length at this point. And so you see that there's wider stripes, obviously, than around here because of the circumference of my arm. However, I think I want to make this, what do they call, bracelet length? Yeah. Hanger, leave my yarn alone. So I probably have another couple of inches before I would start to think about that I-cord bind off that the designer calls for. But as you can see, this looks like it's really warm, and it will be a fall-winter type of adventure. But I'm loving it. I really am loving it. Short rows in the back, no short rows in the front, just because I'm not sure that that makes for a better fit. The designer put them in there, from what I have read, to make this look like a string of pearls. Okay. She's a knitwear designer. I'll believe her. But yeah, still don't see the need for short rows. So I have been knitting on this. These are all on size 10 needles. And I don't have any, what do I want to call it? Like 9-inch for size 10. Yeah, I don't know if we even make it. But yeah, I've started the decreases, as you can see by the markers, and I'll continue to do some decreases and then try it on again. The last time I tried it on, it was elbow length, and that was about an inch and a half ago, maybe 2 inches. So yeah, that's my first one. Good progress, considering that it doesn't seem like I've done a lot of knitting this week. So that's my first one, and it goes on the floor. Plop. There we go. Okay, the second one, I don't think you've seen for a while. I have made excellent progress on this one. I don't think I showed it to you the last time. The last time I worked on this, I think I was just right at the neckline. If I'm wrong, put a comment below, because I obviously didn't move this marker. But This is a little different. This is a DK weight yarn by Yarnsmith. It's their dupe for what's the Scheepjes? It's 67% cotton and 33% acrylic. It's basically a blown yarn. Let me show you. I don't know whether you can really see that well. But it's got the orange fibers coming out of the off-white. So it makes a nice little, almost marled look on occasion. I like this yarn. This is Wool Warehouse's brand, Yarnsmiths. So if you haven't tried Wool Warehouse, it's in the UK. You can get US delivery. I don't know about Canada. I just know about US because that's where I live. It's for $4.99 per order. So it's really very reasonable, and they come very quickly. And they carry drops, they carry lots of things. So if you're interested in any of their yarns, I've tried the sock yarn. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad either. I've tried a couple of their acrylics. I just tried a ball here and there. I liked it. Didn't feel squeaky like some of them do, and didn't feel petroleum-y. Is that right? Is oily. Didn't feel oily to me or squeaky. So I decided, those of you that have been around saw my beige one that I made out of Scheepjes. It is a sport weight. This is a DK weight. And this, when I tried it on, is obviously a little larger up around the yoke and doesn't quite fit as nicely. So there's that. But I'm still okay with it. So I think I was here the last time I showed you. And look. I'm there. And I have one sleeve done. Started the other sleeve last night. Yeah, last night. Barely. Got maybe 2 or 3 rows before my hands started hurting. So I'm going to have plenty of yarn. I think I have 2 more after this, which is another 100 grams. So I'm going to have oodles to finish this however long I feel like I need it. But I elected not to put any short rows in. And let me get that out of my face. Not that you really want to see my face. You're here for the knitting. But again, the ranunculus, Midori Hiroshi, no short rows front or back. I never do the cast on that she tells me to do. And I don't really do the sleeves like she tells us to do in the pattern. I do them like I've done sleeve patterns forever. Pick up the stitches, add about, 6, 8, 10, whatever I feel like I need underneath, and do the sleeve for however long I want. She has something that looks a little more complicated, and that turned me off immediately. So anyway, yeah, this is very, very soft. And I have been wearing my beige one. I wore that several times when we were away. Very, very comfortable to wear. So I expect the same of this because it is a little bit larger. I haven't looked at the gauge because this isn't something that you really need a gauge swatch for. But I think that this being a DK versus a sport is a slightly bigger gauge, which I would expect. But why am I doing all this? Well, my local knit shop owner asked me to do a class on ranunculus, and I still haven't chatted with her about dates if you're local and are interested. But I wanted to have as many samples as I could to show how that pattern can look. It can look very soft and very see-through with a lace or even a fingering weight, or it can look dense or even denser as with the Noro. So it can be long sleeve, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve. It can be whatever you make it. And I think that's why a lot of people like the pattern so much, is that it is quite adaptable and quite you make it yours. And if you have 800 grams and maybe even less, depending on your size, you can get a garment out of it. It might be cropped and you need to wear it over, you know, a dress or a high-waisted skirt or high-waisted jeans or whatever, but you can make a garment. So how many of us have 2 skeins of something? Yeah, a lot. So anyway, plop on the floor it goes. That was, again, Yarnsmiths DK. And it's the dupe for Scheepjes. I'm just a wealth of information today. I'll put it down here, all the things. And I'll put it down in the comments below because the head, because I think I've been sick, hasn't worked as well as it should. Yeah, been doing a lot of sleeping, which is good. The next one that I have, another ranunculus. This is a recycled silk yarn that I've had in my stash probably for 10 years. So much for fresh yarn. I don't get that. But anyway, yeah, it's a recycled silk. So this one, I put short rows in the back. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me double that up. Short rows in the back, not in the front. And this is the front. And I have started the sleeve barely, but I have finished the ribbing on the bottom. Obviously, this is going to be a little lighter than the other 2 that I showed you. And I will likely need to wear a camisole under it because I'm old. And this is certainly something that if, you know, you wouldn't have, if you're not body conscious like me, you could definitely wear without a cami. You know, skin tone bra, it would be fine. So yeah, I'm making some progress on that. This is pretty slippery yarn. And again, the hand has caused a little bit of delay with this week, but yeah, I'm pleased. I plan on making this kind of a 3/4. We are going on a cruise at the end of this month, 1st of September, right in the middle of hurricane season. Yeah. So, so who knows where we'll end up in the Caribbean. But yeah, this is one that I would like to get finished and take with us because I don't dress up at dinner at all, ever, for anybody. Well, that's not true. If it's a wedding, I would. But this would be something that I could just slip over and, you know, pair of black capri pants. Exactly. So anyway, the yarn is been discontinued for years. Gadifra is the maker, and again, it's recycled yarn, silk. So I really like those recycled things. I don't want to hear, you know, that people don't like them. I like them. All right, so those are 3 ranunculi. Is that what you call them? That I've been working on. Not as much as I would like, but it is what it is. Till I get that shot, that's what it's going to be. I want to show you, I've worked a little bit on oh goodness, names of patterns are going to kill me. The Clover Tee. And her company's name is Lanit. I think she's Danish or Swedish, not sure. Lene Home Sanso, not sure. I think it's Swedish, and I just dropped the garment. I've gotten a little bit done with this. Let's try to make this a little bit presentable as I drop a stitch or 3. All right. We're getting there. I'm on, I believe, the last repeat of this, and then I split for sleeves. This is where I was last time. As you can see, you know, as it gets longer and longer, I've done about 1 inch, and I feel really positive about this. Yeah, it's coming along. This is made with Synchrony from Brown Sheep Wool in the color Baby's Breath. It's 60% cotton, 40% wool. It is heaven to work with. I love it. It takes the qualities of both fibers and packs a powerful punch in my estimation. Yeah, this is really good stuff. I like it a lot. If I were in the market to purchase more, which I am not, yeah, I would purchase more. So a little bit of progress, certainly not what I would have liked, but it is progress nonetheless. All right, I have one more thing that I wanted to show you. Yes, I don't think I showed you, and I might have, but I wasn't sure that I had shown you my Dingley Dell last time. I probably didn't. And this is where I was the last time I showed you. And I'm now on the second purple row. This is knit from the top, and this is how it comes, and it will be a V-neck. So that's the construction of it. This is a pattern by Isabelle Kramer. And the beige gray is Knitting for Olive Merino. And this is my first ball. I have 5. I'm not sure why I bought 5, but I did. And this is a local dyer to me in Trusty Sock. This is Swan City Yarns. The Cat's Meow. It's a purple. It's really lovely. Very, 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 very deep, but very slightly tonal as well. Carolyn is the dyer. I love it. It's lovely yarn. They mix well together. Yeah, you can see there's some tonal there that's, you know, it's just very subtle. And I find myself more and more going to tonal yarns. And I don't want to be concerned with the hand dyeing of variegated any longer. Has anybody else switched over from that? I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just me. But yes, so those are the things that I have been working on this week. Not a lot to show you. However, I did want to tell you that next week I will be picking for the August prize for the Christmas in July cast on. So if you haven't, go back to the last podcast and see what you needed to do to enter that. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I'll do next week. Now, we've got September just around the corner. It's hard to believe. I went into CVS to pick up a prescription the other day, and I'm like, what is all this pencils, crayons, and, you know, all this stuff? Very depressing, I have to say. Being in public school life for a very long time, there were 2 pains that you always got as a teacher in early August, and that was the pencil box pain. You'd see the pencil boxes lined up at the Walmart or the Kmart or, you know, or the CVS or wherever you shopped, and you go, I only have X amount of weeks before I have to go back. So I have to pile in all these home projects and, you know, painting and weeding and, you know, all the things that you will not be able to do until October. Those of you that have been in public education realize that the very first day you're back to the end of September, you are on a treadmill and you don't have time to do anything. So for 6 weeks of your life, you're consumed, and that's what you do. But yeah, I got the pencil box pain. Walking into the CVS. So it's September almost. It's around the corner. And for the second pain, it's the Sunday night pain, where you go, 60 minutes is on. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Now, I'm sure that other careers get that, but I seem to think that teachers and people that work in public education find it a little bit more painful. It's not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination. So what happens in September here? Well, we are going to do another one skein September. We did it a couple years ago. I think it was in 2022. And we should do it again, right? So a couple months ago, I had kind of announced this and said, start thinking about what you might pick. Well, I have picked another Joji Locatelli pattern, Traveling Solo. I love her shawl patterns. This is very similar to her hipster and her light hipster in many, many ways. It's light, it's airy. I think I gave my light hipster to, or I think it was, I gave it to a park ranger who lives locally, and I'd like to make something similar. So, and I really like the look of this. So this is what I have picked for my one skein September. What have you picked? Have you picked yet? Drop your comment below and tell me what you have picked or what you're thinking about picking, because we still have a few weeks. But that is Traveling Solo, one skein, easy peasy. Yeah, it looks interesting enough to keep the imagination going. This is what it looks like. So we've got some nice airiness to it. Not too big, obviously. And it is charted, and it does have written directions as well. So that's what I have picked. Now I'm going to ask you to help me pick what yarn to use. I have 3 options that I've picked. I don't know if any of them are things that I really love. I really love what she has. And I would like to think that I had something similar, but I'm not going, I don't have anything that's that similar. This is as close as it gets. This is what I won at SSK. And I'll take that off because I'm going to show you what it looks like. It has a little red, has some blues, it says hot greens, yellow, there's some orange. It's got a little bit of everything. So it would go with a lot of things. I'm not sure I'm loving it, but I'm liking it. I think it would be okay. I do. I think it would be okay. So let me show you the other choices that I have. One has already been balled up. Let me get this back before it gets into a heap of total mess. Oh, this thumb. Guys, I didn't even think of that, wrapping that up. Anyway, that is the Chelsea. We'll just call that Chelsea. Okay? Because you're going to vote on these in a second. This is an undetermined amount of yarn and an undetermined brand of yarn. Let me see if I can weigh this, see how many grams this is. It says it's 99 grams, so it's obviously almost a full ball or a full ball. And it's, if you can't see, it's pink. Let me cover up my face. Pink with little speckles here and there. So I would have enough to do this shawl. Definitely. I do like pink. So we're going to call this pink. The other one was Chelsea. Now this is the third one. I bought this primarily because of the name. This is by Hip Strings, and it is covered as a jag-off. Okay, so yeah. So this is a blue-gray. This is a BFL base, which has a total. This is obviously a merino, and this, the Chelsea, I think has some cashmere. Yeah, it has 10%. It's an MCN, has 10% cashmere. So this is soft, this not as much. So I'm not sure that really matters. But we've got a little bit of reds, oranges, yellow, more of a berry color, purpley, blue, gray. Has more of a light dark theme, light medium theme. Again, not sure. So it's all up to you. We have September 1st to let me know what you think. And we're going to call this COVID because I love the name. COVID is a jag-off. Yeah, this was obviously at the height of COVID when they dyed this, Hip Strings. And Hip Strings is a very well-known, well-respected company, hand dyer. And I've used a couple of their things in the past. And while I'm not wild about it, it would be a good use for a nice shawl. Pink, Chelsea, COVID. Put your vote down below, please. Yeah, I'm not wed to any of it. So who knows? I might find something totally different. But no, I will definitely knit this in whatever you tell me to do. I'm just like that. Decision making, not my strength. Well, it is very decisive a lot of times, but when it comes to choosing yarn and patterns together, I'm not sure. Part of me thinks the BFL might be a little heavy for this pattern. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Love to know. All right, let's see where we're at. Make 9, just a checkup. I have made a ranunculus or 6. I'm working on my Dingley Dell. I have worked on Mrs. Watson. I don't think I've showed you that. This is set idle, totally. This is finished, the Jarrell Shawl. I have no sock mojo. I have none of this mojo right at the, I did work on this, and I have not worked on this. So once again, I will likely end up with 4 or 5, make 4 or 5, right? It doesn't need to be 9. And I'm going to continue to show you these until I get a spark under me to work on them. All right. What you haven't seen recently is my Make 9 techniques. I started this a few years back thinking, okay, let's see if I can work myself into some techniques that I haven't tried, that I'm scared to try, that I'm just never have tried because Florida, you know, things that I wouldn't normally, like thrummed mittens. What was that word? Thrummed mittens. Like, why would I do that? I live in Florida. But, you know, it's a technique. So let's get straight on this. Latvian braid. I did do that. And I don't know why I put it off so long. On my Wisdom and Moon shawl here. I'm currently working on the color work, by the way. Flat color work, not as fun as in the round. So I did do that. The next one, it says brioche. Well, baby, look what I did this week. And I only have one mistake that I can find. This was just some chunky wool that I had in my stash. I had one ball, and I thought, I'll just do a little sample and see what I come up with. This is scary, and it's not hard at all. It's just a lot of work for one row. That's all. Not a big deal. In fact, I think I'm going to take some of my fingering weight scraps and put them together into a mumbo jumbo of color and knit some headbands for my girls for Christmas. They're pretty easy. So the only thing I have to worry about is keeping those 3 strands of fingering together. So, yeah. So I've done that. I have taught myself how to crochet a bit. I'm going to count it as I've done it. Jogless stripes, I've done before, but I want to establish that, and I will do that soon. Color work, I like the color, okay. Yeah, color work, I did in the cowl that I did back in January. So that's another one that I've accomplished. Tubular bind off, haven't had the need to figure that out yet. I'm going to. Cables, I've done before in the past, but I just want to get comfortable with it again. And that's why I selected this little shawlette. It's got cabling in it. So I'm working on it. Not my favorite thing to do. Design shawl, I actually am working on that. Yeah. And then the last one says a cardigan. And that is in my Make 9, which is this one. So I'm progressing slowly. It's only August. And the cardigan is something that I'm going to really concentrate on in September because I'd like to wear that this winter. That will be my winter coat in Florida when I need a coat. So I think that's all I have for you. I have no new yarn because that. I have no new yarn, and I don't need new yarn. I would love new yarn. I look all the time. Is anybody else like that? Do you go online and you just, like, I found this site, was somewhere in, I think, Sweden. I don't know the language. I don't know whether it's Swedish, Norway, Finnish, I'm not sure. Oh, they had the most beautiful yarns. They were soft, they were beautiful. The tones were Scandinavian. It was just, they looked so soft and cozy, and it was beautiful. Yeah, so does anybody else do that? It's just, I guess some people look at race cars, you know, if you're into race cars. I liken it to that. Or if you're into another hobby, you know, you just like to look. You know, I'm not buying anything, although I have to say I would love to, but I have far too many things from SSK that I need to start working on. So as soon as I get a couple of these done and a couple of those ranunculuses done, ranunculi, I'll probably cast on a couple new t-shirts. So, and that's really probably what you'll see the majority of, because I live in Florida and that's what I would be wearing most. And most of them will be a cotton blend of some sort. And I'm tending to like a lot of the cotton linen blends. Yeah, so yeah, this may turn into the Drops Bell channel. I'm just kidding. Drops, you can sponsor me at any point. But yeah, it seems like I have about 4 t-shirt quantities of that sitting around, and I don't know exactly where I got them, but Wool Warehouse, you can sponsor me too. Yeah, like they would know who I am. Anyway, I'm pretty proud of my brioche, by the way. Yeah, this was really just a little tutorial, and yeah, I think it is smushy, but too warm for Florida. So yeah, pretty proud of that. Anyway, let me know what you've been working on. Put all the comments down below. Please like, subscribe. There's the pillow. Yeah, I would appreciate that. And anybody who feels like they can support the channel, I do have a Ko-fi channel, I don't even know what to call it, a Ko-fi account. That's what it is. It's not a channel. Ko-fi account. And that's, you know, if you feel like buying a coffee for me, that'd be great. I enjoy having a coffee here and there. Yeah. Or an iced tea. Yeah. So I will leave you. You've been here long enough. And I do hope that your week is wonderful and that you have lots of time to do what you want, whether it's knitting, gardening, sitting in the sun, swimming, all the things. Yeah. So let me know what I should knit that shawl in. Would that be a nice thumbnail? Let's see. Let's see what YouTube does, because they never pick what I think. Yeah. All right. I will see you next week. Until then, knit in peace.